you didn't have information. But now we need more accountability. We need the politicians or whatever system we create to be more accountable to the people. And most important, we need the system to adapt faster. The system itself of the Senate and the House in the US, which Brazil really just copied and pasted the whole thing, works in a way that any dramatic change takes time. And that was a protective measure that forefathers created. And that was important because you don't want instability. But at the same time, we need to today, with changes happening like AI and different things, especially technology changes, we must have a possibility to adapt faster, to pass new laws or to negotiate regulation or not to have regulations on things that are not being effective faster than the system is allowed to. You know, if you believe there's a deadlock in Congress or the whole thing in the US, the whole government, the Senate, the Congress, etc., that was supposed to be like that. That is in the design. The design is supposed to be a deadlock, and unless you have a supermajority in the Senate, for example, 2/3, you cannot change a lot of things, and that was by design because the forefathers were really smart and very noble. They understood that unless you had this, changes would bring instability to the system. And we needed, on a new country, on a new democracy, a model that had never been tested, we needed some guidelines, some flexibility to protect that. And there's a say about we're only one generation from losing our liberty. That was a very smart president, by the way. He was able to bring a coalition. And then we need to go back to that. Right now, Republicans and Democrats, right or left, they're all evil. Like, this side is evil, that side is evil. That's not how you treat half of the country. You're gonna bow to govern. Look, I never believed I would say this, but today the only option, because there's really only two options, would be to elect President Trump. I really enjoy and I like the fact he brought RFK to his side. And maybe he could be just as effective as Lincoln, because we are living in a very divisive moment in America. And the band or gang of rivals, whatever, team of rivals, that's even a name of a book. Team of rivals. President Trump, get elected. Bring to your administration the most diverse cabinet ever, just like Lincoln did. Bring your rivals. Bring your enemies. Bring Hillary Clinton, for all I care. Because we together will be able to care for America. Bring Obama. Bring your most tough enemy. Bring your rivals. Bring your friends. Make the most incredible administration ever created by man. I saw a video of President Trump praising Jesus. And he's not a religious man, or at least not so blunt about it. And I don't believe he's the new coming of Christ. I don't believe he's a savior. I believe he's the right man in the right moment. Honestly, he was shot at twice. He stood up on the first time and fist first. That is the definition of courage. Honestly. For me, he's not the perfect president. He's not the perfect man. He's not the perfect leader. He's just the person right now. He has lied. He has exaggerated things. What we should look is a system that allows for the same two people to go back. I mean, it was supposed to be Biden versus Trump. There are more than 330 million people in America. Not sure the number of people who would be eligible to be president. It has to be more than 35. But honestly, we should do better. But politics, it's a game that nobody really wants to be in. We have a two-choice system. We have President Trump and we have Vice President Kamala, or Kamala, I even forgot what her name is. The choice is clear. And this is, and again, that looks like a cliche, the most important. Every election is important because we see what happened. Honestly, I didn't support Trump in 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago. But today, I see things more clear. And not only that, the system exaggerated a little bit. It was so evident, and that's the last caveat that I'll bring to this conversation, because this is exactly what we could see in election that just happened in Brazil a week ago. The mayoral election happens here at the same time. So we had a 45-day campaign, and on October 6th, we had votes. I don't particularly believe that you need to rig the election, like in the sense that a lot of people talked about in Brazil or in the US, where you rig like the actual voting machines, because you're rigging the people's mind. Yes, you're brainwashing them. President Bolsonaro passed 4 years being attacked tremendously. Like, you have a two-tier system in Brazil for justice. That just happened. A person, YouTuber, was condemned to prison, 2 years of prison. Most likely he was not going to serve anything. Brazil is not very tough on criminals. But again, he called the current, well, he used to be the justice minister, right? Secretary of, it's called Minister of Justice in Brazil, which will be equivalent to the DOD, Department of Justice. He called him fat. Yes, you heard me correctly. He called him a fatty or something like on that regards. He was condemned. I can bring the end of he can appeal, but he was already condemned to prison for calling him fat. At the same time, the current president, who appointed this man as his justice minister, called him fat, made jokes, said he needs to lose weight because there's so many people with hunger, and he wants to end hunger, so he needs to do an example.